In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new e.l.f. Camo CC Cream Foundation. I will give you all the information you need to know about this foundation, how it applies and wears throughout the day. If you are interested in a particular section of this video, I'll go ahead and leave the timestamps for you down below in the description box in case you're interested. If you're new to my channel, what's up? My name is Ashley. I upload beauty, fashion, and lifestyle videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. So if you're into that content, consider subscribing and let's get into today's video. I know I'm looking busted right now, but trust the process because I will be transforming, okay? Now, this is the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream Foundation. This retails for $14. You can purchase it at e.l.f., Ulta, or Target. I did purchase mine through e.l.f. online before it was available on Ulta or Target. Boo-boo, it took forever to get here because there was like a storm. We're in the middle of a panoramic and all that stuff, but I'm a little bit worried that this might not be my shade. They do have 20 shades, but I will say... and this is my fault because you're able to upload a picture and then they could suggest you like which color would be for you. But I will say that I always have a hard time with e.l.f. trying to figure out what's a good shade for me. Because one, it's like we can use the testers right now. Two, their picture of what the shade is sometimes isn't really true. And I can show you because I have purchased 4 of the e.l.f. Camo concealers. I did buy one of the hydrating, but... I bought 4. They all kind of look a little bit similar but have a little bit of different undertones. When you see the shades that they have, like for example, I got mine at Target, you know, it shows you like this is, you know, beige sand, this is this and that. They look darker than what they actually are, or they look lighter than what they actually are. So it's like hard to tell. For e.l.f., I feel like I need to actually test it, swatch it, and all of that. But the shade that I purchased is in 210 Neutral, so I am hoping, that this works out for me. I also purchased the new complexion foundation brush, so I will be using this to apply the CC cream. I also did purchase the e.l.f. Putty blush. I have never used a cream blush, but I've always wanted to try it, and this is one of their new shades, so I will be using that, but I'll only show you how the foundation applies because this is what the review is about. But before I get all close and personal, let me read you the description. So I'll go ahead and put it up in the screen so that you can read it with me. So it says, what is it? A medium to full coverage color correcting foundation with SPF 30 protection. Why we love it? Medium to full coverage foundation with a natural finish formulated with SPF 30 to protect against sun damage. Multitasking foundation that provides skincare benefits infused with hydrating and youth boosting ingredients known to improve skin texture and tone. Our shade match guarantee allows you to buy with confidence. Key ingredients: collagen known to improve skin elasticity, 100% vegan. Hyaluronic acid helps provide hydration by locking in moisture, resulting in a plumped up, bouncy complexion. Niacinamide, I know I'm saying that wrong, to help brighten and even out skin tone. Peptides for a more refreshed complexion. Ditch your basic foundation. The skin color correcting cream is the only product you need to achieve a natural looking complexion, but with full coverage. A multitasking dream cream infused with peptides and niacinamide known to plump, hydrate, and smooth the appearance of your skin while protecting with SPF 30. Apply using our e.l.f. Complexion Duo Brush to achieve a flawless airbrush finish. The key points that I got out of this is that it is a medium to full coverage, it has SPF 30, has a natural finish, it is hydrating, it will help improve the skin's texture, and there is skincare benefits. So I won't be able to tell you about the skincare benefits because I'm not using it for that long, but I do have texture and all that, so let me zoom you in so you can see. This is what we are working with. I do have some pink, I have some old acne scars, I do have a little bit of like bumps, and I have big pores, so let's see how this foundation does. Every single time I apply foundation and I do a review that has to do with foundation, I always prime because I believe in primer. So the primer I'm going to be using today is this Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is what it looks like. And then to kind of like help diffuse my pores a little bit, because I always do this, I will be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is what it looks like. It's actually kind of pink-like. So I will be putting this on my face before I do the foundation. I do want to say that I love the fact that it has a pump. I just always love foundations that have pump. So I'm just going to go ahead and squirt some out. Por favor, Diosito. Oh, that looks too dark. Diosito, please let it be my shade. Honestly, I definitely think that it's going to be too dark. I don't know if you can really see. I mean, look at me. I'm a little pale, but I think we can make it work. I think. I'm going to start off on this side. Okay. I think we can make it work. I think. At first, it looked a little bit like, I was a little worried, but I think we'll be able to make it work. I'm going to be using the complexion brush. I will say that I just applied it on the skin like that, and it does feel very like creamy and hydrating. It didn't feel drying. So, a ver. ¿Cómo nos va a ir? Okay. This is very easy to maneuver around. I will zoom you guys in a little bit more so you can really see like the texture of my skin once I put it all over my face. But I feel like most of my redness is covered. I don't feel the shade is too bad. I think we're going to be able to kind of like, you know, pasarla. Okay. Gonna add a little bit on this area. I was going to go ahead and do like half of my face with a beauty blender, but I'm kind of wanting to just apply it all over the face with this complexion brush. But should I use the sponge? I'm a little indecisive right now. You can still see obviously a little bit of the bumps and all, but I'm not mad about it. It doesn't feel, I mean, you can definitely feel like there's something on top of the skin, but it doesn't really necessarily feel heavy. It feels more like medium. It's not really lightweight for me personally. It feels a little bit medium. Maybe once it sets in, it'll feel better. To try it out, I am going to be using the e.l.f. Beauty Blender to apply the foundation on this side of my face. It is a little bit damp. Y a ver cómo, how it performs. Okay, forehead, come through. As you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did have like a sunspot around there, and I feel like it covered it pretty nicely. This butt is so big, it helps blend the foundation way faster. Just kind of nice. I don't feel like I see a huge difference. I don't know if you guys do. I do feel like maybe there's a little bit more coverage on this side of the face when I use the brush versus using the blender on the other half of the face. But I will say that this side of my face feels a bit more lighter than on this side. Maybe it's because of the way that it's like on the skin. I'm just going to go over on this side too to make sure everything is nice and blended. Okay, so this is what my skin looks like now that it is completely full of foundation. I will say that it's looking very even. It covered most of my redness. It covered most of my acne scars. I mean, obviously, this baby right here, I mean, she's going to be shining through. Today is her day, so let's let it be. But for the most part, I'm actually really liking the coverage. I like the way that it feels. It doesn't feel heavy at all. Especially then when I press it down with the Beauty Blender onto my skin, it really just melted in. So looking really, really good right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, but then I'll show you the final look. So I already went ahead and finished my makeup. I will say that it does feel just nice. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel too cakey. I do feel like I have something on my face. And I did set my makeup very lightly using this Maybelline Fit Me translucent powder. I mean, literally very, very lightly. Normally I'll use like my MAC Studio Fix powder, and I usually like really bump it into the skin, but you can still see that it covered most of my imperfections. That you can still see just very little bit some of my imperfections right there on this side, just very, very, very lightly. Just right here in this area where I have that big bump, I see just a tad bit of cakiness, but it hasn't settled in my lines or anything like that. So I'll go ahead and do my hair and all that stuff, and then I'll show you what it looks like outside, not in these studio lights. But it is currently 12:54 p.m. So I'm gonna, well, 12:55. You just literally saw that change. It's 12:55 p.m. and I'll be checking in with you guys throughout the day. So it is currently like 1:31 p.m. So it's been about 30 minutes since I applied the foundation originally. So now that I'm looking at it on daylight, I will say the foundation actually looks like a decent match. I did have to go ahead and blend it all down into my neck just to be safe, but I feel like it's a little bit passable. It looks good. It doesn't look cakey at all. I'm actually digging it. It looks pretty hydrating. I don't see any texture really on my skin. I mean my natural texture, but I feel like it looks pretty good. So right now I don't have really any oils coming through, so we will check back in a few hours. So right now it is currently, I believe, like 3:20 p.m. or something like that. And honestly, I feel like it's looking pretty good, pretty normal. Actually, I feel like my makeup looks like a good everyday kind of like thing. It doesn't look like too much or anything like that. When I was eating, I'll make you a little bit jealous. I was eating quesadillas de birria. If you guys don't know what that is, you're missing out. And the juice like fell on my chin, so if you see a little bit like makeup removed there, it's for that reason. I didn't mean to do it on purpose, but I'm just checking in right now because I am actually going to go to the beach and watch the sunset. That's something that I scheduled myself to do today. Lately, this is a little bit too much. I'm getting a little bit emotional, but if you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I am not okay right now. I'm struggling a little bit mentally, and it's so sad because I feel like I was in such a good mindset and I was so excited for 2021. Like nothing too crazy. I was just like excited, and like I had a new planner and I wanted to like write down all my goals and everything. I was just really, really excited about that. But it's just been very hard, and I had a very bad breakdown literally on New Year's Eve. And ever since then, like I started like really forcing myself and praying to God and just being like, you know what, I'm not gonna let those negative emotions get the best of me. And the thing is, I got COVID back in November before Thanksgiving, and that really messed me up. And now I'm like, because before then I was scared of COVID, but I was going to work and I was like still just, I was okay. I was able to hang out with friends here and there, like really close friends, and we were good. Like we were good until I got COVID, and I have no clue how I got it because I feel like I've been very careful. And nobody else on my work got it. So that was like interesting. But the point is that right now I'm going to see my friend who I haven't seen since I had COVID back in November. And I'm very anxious right now because it's like, it's hard for me to even think about hanging out with people because I'm terrified of getting it again, even though I had mild symptoms and all. But I am going to wear my mask. I'm going to put it on right now. I'm going to go pick her up. We're going to get some hot chocolate. I'm not going to drink it in the car. I'm going to keep my mask on until we go to the beach. I'm a little bit distant and I'll be able to drink it by removing my mask here and there. But I'm still very much terrified of just hanging out with people because I just don't want to get it again. And it's not just about me getting it. I just don't want to also put my family through it again and all that. But I can't live in fear for the rest of my life, you know? Like, it's not like I hang out with people all the time. It's like I'm going out to a party. Like, I'm hanging out with a good friend. We're going to just go watch the sunset. Yeah, so the makeup might remove a little bit since I'm going to be wearing two masks. I'm going to be wearing this one and then a cloth one on top too. So this is what it looks like before adding a mask on. We'll see how it performs after. It is currently 6:04, 6:05 p.m. So I hope that the lighting here is not too shabby. I have my ring light on right now. But I'm looking at my face right now, and I look a tad bit oily on my forehead, but nothing too crazy. I know that when I have the studio lights on, typically it does make me look a little bit more shinier than I would be in real life. I will say that because of the mask, I did get a little bit of cakiness right here in my cheek area and a little bit right here and the area where I have that beautiful pimple. It's extremely cakey, but I mean, that's expected because right there, it's a little flaky like, so we're not gonna really say much about her, but I still will say that this looks pretty good, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. So here we are at our final check-in. This is the final thoughts. It is currently 8:19 p.m. so I have been wearing this foundation for 8 hours, and I can just see myself right now because I have this big mirror right behind the camera. And I'm looking a tad bit oily, but I will say that I have looked oilier with other foundations. Now I have not blotted whatsoever. You saw I went ahead and went to go see the sunset. I did wear a mask for a bit. And due to the fact that I wear a mask, it doesn't look as cakey as I thought it would be, especially in my nose. I'm really surprised that my nose actually looks pretty good. It's more, I see a little bit of cakiness right over here. I do have some shine coming through, but nothing too crazy. Like I can just get a tissue and just like blot my face, but I feel like I'm actually pretty impressed. And normally I have this wrinkle right here in my forehead that I have and normally it gets very prominent and most of the time like a lot of creasing, and right now I can tell you that it doesn't look that bad. It could also be the fact that I am doing a lot of skincare and stuff like that, but overall I will say that I'm not actually mad about this foundation. The color as well I think is okay. Maybe when I'm like editing I'll be like, oh girl, it's really off, but right now like what I'm seeing, it looks pretty good. So for $14, I mean, it's not bad. Honestly, I don't think I mentioned how many ounces are in here. So there's actually 1.5 ounces, which is actually a little bit more than your Too Faced foundation. There's only 1 ounce. So you actually do get more product for $14. So I actually do think that it's a pretty decent foundation for it to be from the drugstore and for it to be $14. It does say that it's going to help hydrate your skin for better texture as well as some skincare benefits. Of course, I cannot go ahead and say, hey girl, this is amazing, your skin's going to be looking great, because I only used it once. But if you do want to go ahead and see my further thoughts, because I will be continuing to use this, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I will be updating you guys in a couple of weeks once I use it up a little bit more. But again, I'm actually pretty impressed, especially right now. You know, you're like having to doll up because you're gonna go to work or whatever the reason might be, and you have to wear a mask. You feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm spending $40 on this foundation that's gonna rub off on this mask. So for it to be $14 and perform still very well, I think that's pretty cool. Well, I hope you found this video helpful and that you were able to determine whether you want to purchase this foundation or not. If you did, comment on below. Let me know will you be purchasing it, what other videos you guys would like me to film. I love to interact with you. You're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I post little previews of what I'm filming and you get to see what I'm up to. So if you want to follow me on there, we could be friends. I upload beauty, fashion, and lifestyle videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. So if you're into that content, consider subscribing, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!